So Hare Krishna, all of you.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome. Yeah, meeting after a long time. I understand the eagerness on both the sides to meet each other. Yeah, I shall be on video for some time. Then I'll probably lock it off. So praying obeisances to Shri Radha Krishna of ISKCON Mangaluru, and paying respects to our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, my Shiksha Guru, Namanishta Das Prabhuji. I begin the day's session with our prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmulitan Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Nirvishesh. Sorry. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna devotees.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Hare Krishna, all of you. Yeah. So today we are going to do the second part of the 10th chapter. Okay. So you have done till the Chatushloka, as I know, till the 11th. All this you have done. I'll be skipping all that. From 10.8 to 10.11 is Chatushloka. Now, there Krishna says, the first one, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. He says that I am the cause of all the material and spiritual manifestations, first of all. Secondly, he says, my devotees, they actually show devotion unto me. And thirdly, he says that those who want to show devotion to me, I show them the way. And those who do it are sure to attain self-realization. So these 4 shlokas, they are actually very important. As you have been told yesterday, you should actually con them. You have to by heart them. Now, once this is Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. I'll not be going to all these because we have a lot to do today. I cannot go back to this. So this is the first one. Then you have, now then I would just wanted to give my input here. How important Lord is. Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. He is the cause of all the spiritual and material manifestations. Now in Narayana Upanishad, it is mentioned like this. In Varaha Purana, Narayana Brahma Jayate. How important, how great Lord is beautifully depicted here. From Narayana, Brahma was born. Brahma is born. From Narayana, the patriarchs are born, all with the male as the counterpart, the head of the family. From Narayana, Indra is born. Okay. From Narayana, the 8 Vasus are born. Who are Vasus? Vasus are the attendants of Indra. Later, they become the attendants of Vishnu. Okay. From Narayana, the 11 Rudras are born. Rudras are the followers of Shiva. From Narayana, the 12 Adityas are born. Adityas are the progeny of Aditi. Kachapa Muni and Aditi, they are born. So the first what he does is, in Varaha Purana, he gives a greatness of Narayana. Ultimately says, this Narayana is an expansion of Krishna. Just imagine. Okay. See, when you say all this, what you talked about Narayana, it extends to Krishna. So how great Krishna is, we come to know from this particular presentation. Okay. Now Vedas, Brahmanyo Devaki Putra. What they say is, son of Devaki, that is Krishna, is a supreme personality. Now this particular chapter is called as the Vibhuti Yoga. All about the opulences of the Lord. How great the Lord is. Why we should know this? You have been already told yesterday beautifully by Lakshmi Mataji, that to get more devotion towards Lord, to love him more, to worship him more, we actually should know all about Krishna. In Narayana Upanishad, it is told, in the beginning of the creation, there was only the supreme personality, Narayana. Only he was there. No Brahma, no Shiva, no water, no fire, no moon, no heaven, no earth, no stars, and no sun. Nothing was there. Everything came later. Okay. So that shows how important great Narayana is. Now Maha Upanishad says, once again. Here I'll put a slideshow. Yeah, this is better. Yeah. The Maha Upanishad says, Lord Shiva was born from the forehead of the Supreme Lord. Okay. Now some say from forehead of Brahma, forehead of Lord, doesn't matter at all. Anyway, the birth of Shiva was from the forehead of the Lord. Okay. So this is how important the Lord is. And this, of course, has been all. I will not go to the slokas now. And this Pachittana Madgata Prana, that is, he knows that all the devotees are actually, they are worshipping me, they're conversing about me, they're always thinking about me. It is told to you. I'll quickly go through just to impress you how important Lord is. Then Teshamita Satata Yuktanam Pajitam Priti Purvakam Tadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenama Upayanti Te. To those who want to really come to me, the teacher says, if the student wants to learn something, she is prepared to help the student. The same way, Krishna says, if the devotee wants to come to me, I'm readily waiting to help him to come to me. Okay, so that's what is mentioned here. So it is ready to help us. Now here, when a person knows the goal of life, now who is a karma yogi, who is a jnana yogi, and who is a bhakti or a buddhi yogi, it has been already told you yesterday. So karma yogi is the one who, I'm just giving you a link between yesterday's and today's class. Karma yogi is one who knows that he knows the goal of life. He knows what is to be done. Knowingly, he's attached to the fruits of the activities, which is very wrong. So if you do something without knowing, okay, fine. Okay, ignorance is bliss. But even that is not to be excused. But this person knows what is wrong, but still he is attached to the fruits. This is called karma yoga. But supposing he transcends that, he becomes a nishkama karmi. Okay. And jnana yogi, he takes pleasure in mental speculation, only reading about Lord, that's all, nothing about understanding him or doing devotion, only reading books after books, mental speculation. He may be like this, he may be like that, all only about just mentally calculating about the Lord. Okay. Then we have here the goal and seeks, that is Jnana Yogi. And here, one who understands about Krishna, knows the goal is Krishna, takes pleasure in mentalist speculation is Jnana Yogi. Now, one who understands the goal completely in Krishna consciousness and devotional service is acting in Bhakti Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. Both are both exactly one and the same. And last one is, out of compassion for them, I dwelling in their heart, destroying with a shining lamp of knowledge, the darkness born of ignorance. See, once a devotee is performing lots of devotion service, he also wants to go back to Godhead, go back to the Lord. God is prepared to help him. Okay. And how does he help him? Out of compassion for him. He feels so sorrow. The child is struggling to climb something, and when the child wants to get on a small child, okay, it's just able to stand now. It wants to hold the chair and wants to get on the table. Okay, it is trying. And it is trying, what will you do? You will not dissuade it from doing it. You're proud of the activity the child is doing. You will help the child to definitely climb on the table. Okay, so this is what God is doing. So what does he do? I dwelling in their hearts. He stays in it's all, see, ignorance is darkness. For all of us, ignorance is darkness. So in darkness, what do we need? We need lamp. So the Lord shows the lamp in the form of, by dwelling in their heart as a super soul, and he shines the lamp of knowledge. Okay, he gives them knowledge, and then he removes the ignorance. That's it. We have to start from here today. But Lord destroys all impediments and dispels any ignorance in the heart. So any obstacles, if there are there for the devotee, he just vanquishes them in a moment and sees that he has no problem at all. And then he actually guides them with the lamp of knowledge. Okay. That's where we had just stopped yesterday. Now we come to the next part, that is 12 to 18. Here, Arjuna acts. Now Arjuna is so convinced with all that has been told to him. He is now fully convinced. Actually, it's not that Arjuna is convinced or needs to be convinced. It is for our sake that Arjuna is asking all these questions. Okay. Arjuna refers to previous authorities, all the people, the great people, all Brahma, then Narada, all the authorities. Okay. And all the patriarchs and all of them. Thus confirms Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. See, there are so many, Narada, Sita, Devala, when others are, all the authorities, they confirm that the Lord is great, and there's no hindrance for us to accept him as great. That's what Arjuna says. But it's beyond. Arjuna doesn't want this knowledge. It's for us. We are ignorant. We need that knowledge. We are in darkness. Praise to Krishna to hear more of his glories, so that he can always think of him and remember him. So not that he has not heard enough. See, we hear certain things we don't mind hearing again and again. So every day we do what is called Parayana. Elders in the house, we do Parayana. Parayana is repeating the same shloka every day. Okay. Some people read the same divine stories every day. They are not bored of it. They actually take pleasure in it. So the more you hear about the Lord, the more pleasure you have in it. Lord, I want to hear more about you. So please talk. I want to listen about you. Otherwise, Krishna will remain unknowable. So unless Krishna, who else can tell? Because he is all in all. He's the final, ultimate. So he only has to tell us about his Vaibhava, about opulences. No man is competent enough. They don't have the qualification or a capability to describe the Lord. Only Lord has his capability. Okay. The first beautiful shloka is here now. The 12th one, 12:30. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, Adidevam Ajam Vibhum, Ahustvam Rishaya Sarve, Devarshir Naradastatha, Asito Devalo Vyasaha, Swayam Chaiva Bravishime. He says, Arjuna said, you are the supreme Brahman. You are the final. Okay. Brahman is, supreme Brahman is the Almighty. Okay. You have three forms. You know that, Brahma Jyoti, and the Paramatma, and the Brahman. Okay. The ultimate, the supreme abode. There's nothing else. Final destination for all of us. Our final destination is not Delhi, not Agra, not Jammu Kashmir or anywhere. It is our supreme abode, Uloka Vrindavana. And purifier. He purifies our hearts, which are all contaminated. Because of why are they contaminated? We are all born from the internal potency of the Lord, but we are exposed to the external material energy, which is created out of the external inferior energy of the Lord. So we are all contaminated by the three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. The absolute truth and the eternal divine person, eternal, he is always there. Adi Purusha. You are the primal God, the first God. First, everything begins with you. Okay, transcendental. He is above. You can't imagine. He is all above all the material. What you can imagine. That those he transcends all the material limits. And original. He is original, not duplicate. Original. And you are the unborn. You are not born. And all pervading beauty. You are full of beauty. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa proclaim this of you. They are actually giving testimony. They are actually saying that you are the greatest. And now you yourself are declaring it to me. They have already said that, but you are now saying that you are the, now here beautifully shown in this particular presentation. Say Param Brahma, that is supreme truth. Param Dhama, ultimate abode. Pavitram, the purest, untainted by material contamination. Param Bhavan, the absolute truth again. Purusham, he's a person. He's not some Brahmajyoti or anything like that. He's a man. He's a person. Then Shashvatam, eternal. Divyam, transcendental. Adi Devam, original Lord. Okay, he's original. Ajam, unborn. Vibhum, the greatest. We are all Anus. He's Vibhu. Accepted by all Acharyas. Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, all said yes, no second, nothing, absolutely no second thought at all. And he says, you yourself are declaring it to me, I totally accept as truth. Neither demigods or the demons can understand your personality. The demigods are created by Lord only. Demons also are created by Lord. There are actually Diti and Aditi. Now Diti and Aditi are two women. Okay. Now Diti gives rise to Daityas. Okay, the demons. Aditi gives rise to the good soul people. Okay, so now all of them are created by you only, but then they do not know you. That's actually said here. Now you go to 14th shloka. Sarvam etad pratam manye yanmam vadasi keshava nahite bhagavan vyaktim vidurdevana danavaha. Oh Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the gods nor the demons or Lord know thy personality. You are beyond all understanding. Okay. Now, acceptance of Arjuna of all that Krishna says should be emulated. So we should really follow what actually Krishna says. Okay. Yeah. We should not doubt what Krishna says. Okay. And you have to emulate them. You have to follow them. Okay. Then we can understand the sense of Bhagavad Gita. Because it is written by the Lord only. So unless you understand Krishna and you have faith in Krishna and you emulate Arjuna, you can't understand Bhagavad Gita. Okay, if you go to Bhagavad Gita with doubts and confusion and you try no faith, faithlessness, you can't understand Bhagavad Gita at all. And then only can we understand that Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead. Okay. Now in the 15th shloka it is mentioned. I'll come to shloka. I'll give you the shloka. Indeed, you alone know yourself. It's a very beautiful shloka. All shlokas are very nice. 15th one. Swayam eva atmanatmanam vedtatvam purushottama bhuta bhavana bhutesha deva deva jagatpate. Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency. See, how can, see, a genius is there, absolutely core, hardcore, genius is there. Who can tell me, describe him or actually talk about, elaborate about him? He only can do it because we're not competent enough to do that. We don't have the capacity to do that or even the eligibility to do that. Okay, they're just so small in front of him. Who supreme person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe is actually praising him. Then in the 16th shloka, Vaktum arhasi ashe sena divya hyatma vibhutayah Yabhir vibhutibhir lokan imam satvam vyapsya tishtasi. Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds. Now he wants to know more about the Lord. Okay. On the 17th shloka, it's Katham vidyam aham yogims tvam sada parichintayan keshu cha bhaveshu chintyo asi bhagavan maya. Oh Krishna, oh supreme mystic. Okay. We do all mysticism is Krishna only. All marvels, amazing things. How shall I constantly think of you? Please tell me, Krishna. I want to really be devoted to you. Now the student asks the teacher, Madam, I want to study. Please tell me how to study. I want to become a first ranker. I want to top the class. I want to do this. I want to do. I'm very ambitious. Please tell me how to study. So Krishna is asking, Arjuna is asking Krishna here, how to worship you always. And how shall I know you? I want to know you 100% because I want to develop full devotion in you. It is not for Arjuna. It is for us. He is actually, all this knowledge is for all of us. No, if you know more about Krishna, you'll definitely get more devotion towards Krishna and will get actually attached to Krishna. And obviously, when you get so attached to Krishna, one day we will go to Krishna. That's all. In what various forms are you to be remembered? In what form shall I remember you? As Krishna, Rama, Parishrama, which way? Please tell me which way shall I remember you? Okay. O Supreme Personality of Godhead is requesting him. It says, Vistarena atmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuya kathaya triptirhi shanmato nasti me amritam. O Janardana. Janardana is Jana is actually for the people. Again, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you. For the more I hear, more I want to taste the nectar of your words. Okay. Now 17. Same question is same. I will skip this. I've told you about that. Now here we see that Arjuna requests to be more to know more about Krishna's glories. Let me see here. Advantages of hearing Krishna's opulences. Why should we hear about Krishna? Okay. What are they? First, hearing increases remembrance. If someone tells about their profile, they tell us, you'll be able to remember better. If they give it in writing, their details, you won't reading. It takes a little time. It's not that very effective. If they talk and you hear them what they're saying about themselves, you remember better. Okay. Then always think of Krishna. One thing is, once you know his opulences, you'll never stop from thinking about Krishna. You'll always be focused on Krishna. Okay. Then, thus by remembering Krishna, one can relish great nectar. So Krishna is only so nectarian. His pastimes are nectarian. His everything is nectarian. Okay. His glories are nectarian. And obviously we will relish all that nectar. In everywhere there is honey, in whatever you are eating, it's all so nice, you'll really enjoy. It is so very beautiful, very tasty. One is never satiated by hearing about Krishna. Ask anyone today about theists, about the people who believe in God, not about the atheists, Now, anyone who is a worshipper, a true devotee, you ask anyone, will they ever be satiated or satisfied or bored about hearing about the Lord? Never. You want to hear more and more. Arjuna's reasons he gives actually why Arjuna wanted to hear more about all pervading opulence of Krishna. 16 to 18, it says, and not for him only, it's BG actually here. Arjuna is already satisfied with the understanding of Krishna and has no doubt about Krishna's position. He knows enough till we have come to 10th chapter. Every chapter he has been talking about himself, and Arjuna is well versed. He knows everything. But why does he ask then? What's the reason? 1 to 6 and 10.1 to 6. For the sake of common people like us who do not know. See, unless someone asks in the class, in a class, there are so many students, and one is a very outspoken student, let us say, and others are all there, but they do not know, they don't know they're not understanding properly what the teacher is saying, but they don't have the boldness or a smartness to ask the teacher and get the questions, or they do not know how to ask the teacher and get the question. They're ignorant actually, okay. Now, the leader, the monitor of the class, or the leading person, who is outspoken, very smart, he will ask the questions which helps all of them. Probably he may also not be knowing, or probably he knows, but for the others, maybe they would have, in fact, what do? We also request, we will be waiting for someone to ask a question of which we have a doubt. But then when someone asks and get the answer, we feel so happy. So for the sake of the common people, okay? And in 10.1 to 7, for the sake of a materialist. See, a materialist can never become a devotee unless he's enlightened by the knowledge of the Lord. So he has to know all this. And in 1 to 7, for personal absorption, Arjuna himself. Arjuna wants to know, how shall I constantly think of you? For a little bit for him also. So he's not all perfect. Little bit knowledge he also wants. Okay. Now to taste the nectar. Okay. Wants to hear more and more and taste the nectar of his verse. Okay. Now here in from 19 to 42 shlokas are here. Krishna describes the most prominent among his limitless pervading opulences. See, what the list given here is not exhaustive. Okay, it's only some of the opulences. You just cannot cover all of them. I think maybe all the paper in the world, all the pens in the world. If your whole world is made the paper and you make all the trees as a pen and start writing about the opulences of Krishna, they will fall short. Will absolutely, you make the rivers at the ink, or start writing, nothing. The rivers will dry, oceans will dry, and the world space will get over, and the trees also will get exhausted. You can't actually complete writing about the opulences of Krishna. It is so much, so a little bit he is giving us, but that's enough for us. We can't consume more also, Names his opulences and then explains that these opulences simply indicate a fraction of his glory. See, we all know that the whole world, it's only 1/4 of it is actually the material world. 3/4 is actually the spiritual world. So we are just in a small part of the whole universe, actually. So the same way, what we know, what has been told here is only a small fraction of his entire glory, because he pervades and supports the entire universe with a mere fragment of his total potency. Little bit of a thing, just see, Govardhana Giri was lifted by Krishna at age of 7 with the left hand, and that too on the little finger. Imagine. See what is his potency. Entire, for the lifting the entire Govardhana Giri, the little finger was enough of his left hand, and that too at the age of 7. What more testimony you require for certifying that Lord is so great? Now in the 19th one, Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Hantate Kathayisyami Divya Yatma Vibhutayah Pradhanyatah Purushreshta Nasti Anto Pistarasya Me. The blessed Lord said, now when he's asked him, he says, yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent. There are so many, I can't just, lifetime may not be enough for you listening to what I'm saying. So listen to only the prominent ones. O Arjuna, but my opulence is limitless. There's no limit at all. And we see here so many gods. You see Lord here lying on the Ananta Shesha. Okay. And we hear, now what is this? Can you tell me? Some things, I'll start from easy ones. Who is this? Please unmute and tell me. Unmute yourself. Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji.
It's Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva, please answer. Please let us be. Let it be a dialogue, between both of us. Then this one is
Brahma.
Brahma. This one,
Krishna.
This one,
Narada Mahamuni.
Very good, very good. Now these are the Kumaras, of course. Now this is the horse, divine horse. Okay, we'll come to it shortly. Now, now this is
Indra.
Very good. This one,
Airavata.
Very good, excellent. Okay, other demigods are here now. Now this we again, what do we come here now? Yeah, avatars are here actually. Now this is Vasuki, the big snake. So this is, who is this? Who wrote the Bhagavad Gita? Very good, very good, very good. Vyasadeva. Okay, very good. But this one,
Prahlad
Maharaj.
Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, so these are actually all manifestations of the Lord. Okay, it's limitless actually. Lord's manifestations are also limitless. Coming to the 20th one, Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarvabhuta Saya Sita Aham Adischa Madhyam Cha Bhutanam Anta Eva Cha. I am the super soul. He says, I'm super soul in everyone's heart. O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities, in every, not only living entities, even in the non-living. Is there in every atom of the non-living, the rocks, the wood, you name it, no? You name anything, no? Every atom, our super soul is there. But only thing is, the soul is there only in the living. Wherever there is consciousness, wherever the living entities, it is showing responses, including the trees. Trees are definitely that show response. Only thing is they're very slow. So we say the consciousness is very slow, very low in the trees, but they also have a soul and super soul. Okay, I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. So I mean the Anta, I am there in the Madhya, I am there in the Adho, in the beginning also, I am there everywhere. Krishna is only there. Adityanam aham Vishnur, Jyotisham Ravir Amshuman, Marichir Marutam Asmi, Nakshatranam aham Shashi. He's saying what all he is, one by one. And I have made some important points for you all, which I'll read later from each of the shlokas. It will be coming later. It may be coming. You may have to go back to the shloka to know the the relevance, but still doesn't matter. There's no need to go back. We'll just get more and more information of these shlokas. Oh, of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Who are Adityas? I told you. Adityas are born of actually Aditi. Okay. Now of lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the lights, what can be more glorious, splendorous than the sun? Sun is the brightest of all. Any candle, your bulb of yours cannot match him. Okay. And then of the Maruts, I am the Marichi. And among the stars, I am the moon. And that Vedanam Samavedosmi, Devanam Asmi Vasavaha, Indriyanam Manaschasmi, Bhutanam Asmi Chetana. Among the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. Now, why does Krishna say he is the Samaveda? Can anyone tell me if you know? Why? Of course, there are so many Vedas. The Atharva Veda is there, then the Rig Veda is there, Yajur Veda is there. Okay, it's not. And why only he talks, why I'm the Samaveda? Anyone raising the hand? I don't see. Today, I can't wait much for your raising hand because it's a big chapter, there are many shlokas, and very nice, interesting things to learn. To quickly raise the hand, I can ask you a question, okay? Now, of the Vedas, I'm the Samaveda. I'll just really go back to the, because it's not clear. We can't see the last words. Okay.
Hare Krishna, please raise your hand or you can unmute yourself that way.
No one?
Sudha Mataji has raised her hand.
Yeah, please tell me, Mataji.
Is it because in the Samaveda, Lord Krishna's Vibhuti or the transcendental opulence is mentioned in the Samaveda itself?
Mataji, that is, of course, that is definitely there. But then the way it is related, it's actually, it's full of chants, musical, it's very musical. Okay. Now then, actually, so that's why, it's Krishna likes it very much. He likes music very much. Okay. So I'm trying to show the whole thing, but yeah, this is better. I think I wanted to go to the larger picture. Yeah. Of the Veda, I'm Samaveda. Of the demigods, I let us go to Samaveda. I'll give you the information of Samaveda. Now, there are a lot of chants in Samaveda, beautiful songs in Samaveda. Why does Krishna compare himself to Samaveda? Okay, that can become as a question to you. The mantras of Samaveda are chanted musically. Okay, not chanting like, the just routine Rat mantras. It is very, even Rat mantras are very nice, Chanting is so beautiful. Bhagavatam is so nice. Bhagavad Gita is so nice. Nectar of Devotion is so nice. Charitamrita is so nice. All those are very nice. But this, it's musical. So they are specially pleasing to gods more than the mantras of the other Vedas, which is why Krishna compares himself to Samaveda. Okay. In fact, they say Sangita Priya Krishna. Lord only likes Sangita. It's a seva. Sangeeta is a seva. Dance is a seva. We think, oh, dancing. Dancing is a very, very great seva. Okay. Sama denotes that which brings, sama means what? Sama. Sama is what? Sama brings equipoise or tranquility to the mind. Makes our mind shanta, very prashanta. Okay. The Samaveda is rich with beautiful songs played by the various. Who is playing the songs? Is there anyone playing from material world? No. The demigods are playing those songs. Okay. One of these songs is the Brhat Sama. That is the song of the Samaveda, which has an exquisite melody and is sung at midnight. It is sung at actually midnight. That's why Lord compares himself to the Samaveda. Okay. Now I think we'll do that. We'll just, when a reference is there, I'll come down to my notes. It will help you better. Okay. Now, yeah, where were we? It's still above. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, yes, tell me.
The font size are little bit too small.
If I go to slideshow, it is better. Yeah.
Mataji, if can we make it like press control and the plus sign?
Can you see this now? Can you see this?
Yes, yes, Mataji. Very much visible.
You can see this now?
Yes, yes, Mataji.
Yeah, yeah. And these slides I can share with them. No, the BV classes, they can,
yes,
what I have done. I'm not talking about the temple slides.
Mataji.
Okay. Whatever I have contributed, no, I will just, my info, it's my notes only. You can even take a click or you can just, I can share it with you all. Okay. So of the Rudras, I think we had to go to the previous one. Yeah. Of Samaveda. Vedanam Samaveda. I told you why it is like that. So then next one. Rudranam Shankaras Chasmi Vittesho Yaksha Rakshasam Vasunam Pavakas Chasmi Meru Shikharinam Aham. Of all the Rudras, devotees of the Lord Shiva, I'm not Shiva, I'm Shiva himself. Of the Yaksha, that means what Krishna is saying here. Of everything, I'm the best. Okay, if there's something, if among the people or among say all the cloth in a shop, the best is Krishna. Or among all the trees, the best is Krishna. Of all the flowers, the best is Krishna. So the best in everything is Krishna. Okay, that's what Krishna is now slowly describing. Okay, of the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I'm the Lord of Wealth. He's actually, I have something to say about this also. Is Lord Kuvera. Of the Vasus, I am fire. Okay, who are Vasus? Attendants of Indra. Okay, under the mountains, I am Meru. Actually, Himalaya is also a mountain. Okay, it's a mountain. I think we'll do one thing. We'll go to shlokas now, and then we'll go to my notes later. Doesn't matter. You can always connect. No problem. Okay, because if I go back again, you will lose the screen. It's a problem. Okay, so among the Lord of Wealth, I'm Kuvera. He's actually Kuvera is also actually Rakshasa only. He belongs to the clan, but then he's the Lord of Wealth. Yakshas, he's a Rakshasas. And Vasu is in the fire. And mountain is a Meru. Himalaya is also very, very important mountain, very sacred mountain. But then Meru is actually movable. Meru can sometimes move, I believe, from place to place. Okay, Himalaya can never move. It is immovable. That is why Himalaya is greater than Meru. Okay. Purodhasam cha mukhyam mam vidhi partha prahaspatim senaninam aham Skandaha Sarasam Asmi Sagaraha. O priests of Arjuna, of all the priests actually, yeah, he is Brahaspati. So Brahaspati actually, see, Indra is actually the greatest of all the demigods. Okay. Now Brahaspati is actually the priest of Indra. So when the priest is actually the priest of a very great man, of a great monarch, the king, obviously, even that priest is the greatest. So that way, Brahaspati is the greatest. Okay. Of generals, I am Kartikeya, and of bodies of water, I am the ocean. Obviously, is it not? You can see a small lake or a small pond or a river and so on. But if you compare that with the ocean, ocean is the largest. Okay. Uchai Shavasam Ashwanam, that is the horse. Okay. Vidhimam Amrito Bhavam Airavatam Gajendranam Naranam Cha Naradhipam. Of horses, know me to be the Uchai produced during the churning of the ocean of nectar. Why is Uchai very important? Or why is Gajendra very important, Airavata very important? Because they were the animals produced during the Samudra Mantana. Okay, and the churning of the ocean was happening, these animals came out. So they're very, very sacred, and they're equal to Krishna. Oh, of lordly elephants, I'm Airavata, the lord, the elephant of Indra. And among men, I'm the monarch, that is a king. The greatest king is Krishna himself. Ayudhanam aham vajram, Dhenunam asmi kamaduk, Prajanastasmi kandarpaha, Sarpanam asmi vasukihi. So, of all the ayudas, weapons, I am Vajra. Okay, he is actually the thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is a weapon used by Indra. Now, among all the cows, he is actually Surabhi. Okay, and of all the procreation, I am Kandarpa. What is Kandarpa? Kandarpa is the capacity to procreate. Now, what actually to procreate? Krishna conscious children, not some children. See, obviously, this gratification can also be for the sense. But if you use it for gratification and you get some children which are not Krishna conscious, unplanned, it's a long process. There are so many samskaras to be done before a child is born. To just born out of the passion, such a child is not Krishna. Definitely, all children cannot be Krishna. Only those who are born with keeping in mind of getting Krishna consciousness in them, they are actually Krishna. And that is Kandarpa, the god of love. And of serpents, I am Vasuki. Actually, there are many Vasukis. Okay. Now the one actually used in during Samudra Manthan was also Vasuki, and the serpent round Shiva is also Vasuki. But the different types of Vasukis are there. Anantaschasmi Naganam Varno Yadasam Aham Pitranam Aryama Chasmi Yama Samyatam Aham. Oh, of the many hooded Nagas, okay, I am Ananta. And among the aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. Okay, aquatics are the living water. Ananta. Ananta is actually the several hooded Naga, and that Naga, when he praises the Lord, it has so many mouths, obviously. With so many mouths, it's still not saturated praising the Lord. What about us? We have only one mouth. So it is not sufficient to praise the Almighty. I am the demigod Varuna of departed ancestors. And we have a Pitraloka. Now the proprietor of the Pitraloka is called Aryama. Okay, he is actually among all the ancestors. I am the Aryama. Aryama means the head of the Pitraloka. That is Krishna. And among the dispensers of law, I am Yama. Now Yama is actually, he helps in executing the laws, the Lord of death. That is something. See, that is such a it's a blow actually. It's a life and death. Both of them are Krishna. Okay. Now that every living entity has to undergo the 6 phases. It has to take birth, it has to grow, stay for some time, then reproduce, and dwindle, and then vanquish. Okay, vanquishing is death, and taking birth is janma. It takes birth. So taking birth as well as death are Krishna. Okay, Praladas Chasmi Daityanam Kalayatam Aham Mruganam Cha Mrugendro Aham Vainateyas Cha Pakshinam. Among the Daitya demons, I am the devoted Prahlada. Prahlada was actually, though a devotee of the Lord, he was the Daitya family. He was actually Hiranyakashipu's son. So he was Daitya, demon. So, but he was a devotee of the Lord. So among them, because of the devotional service of Prahlada, Krishna is equal to, he is actually represented as Krishna. Prahlada is actually taken to be Krishna. Among subduers of time, and time, of the conquerors. Who can conquer? Time can conquer all of us, is it not? So time can vanquish sorrow. Time can make us forget so many things. So that among the subduers, it is time. Among beasts, I am the lion. Lion is the king of the forest. That is the lion. And among birds, I am the Garuda. It is the Vahana of Vishnu. Pavatam asmi Rama Shastra Bratam Aham Jasanam Makaraschasmi Shotasam Asmi Jahnavi. Of purifiers, I am the wind. The wind purifies. When there's some sting coming around, if the wind blows, it actually makes the whole air definitely better, because the smell goes away with the wind. It drives away, it takes it away. So it's a purifier. Of the wielders of weapon, I am Rama. See, Rama was noted for wielding his weapons. He broke the Dhanush in Sita Devi's, but that's and there was actually he had been to those what they call she was to choose her husband.
Swayamvar.
Swayambara. Yes, Swayambara. He broke the weapon. He's noted for that. And Krishna also, he broke the Dhanush during when he went to Mathura to kill Kamsa. On the way, he goes to Ishvara temple. And in Ishvara temple, there's a very huge bow kept there. And then he asked the priest, can I lift this bow? He says, no, this is very sacred bow. You can't do it. And then he doesn't know it is Krishna, his Lord. Then Krishna lifts and just breaks it. And they think it's offense, but Krishna can do no offense. So they're all noted. Rama, Krishna are all the same. They're not any different. Of fishes, I'm the shark. Shark is most fierce, very dreadful animal. So shark does not mean only the shark that we see, the long one, the fish-like animal with the streamline. And there are even the rays are there, They also belong to the same family, sharks and rays. They're stingrays are very dangerous. And then there are electric rays, They also, they electrocute and they kill a person. They're very dangerous animals. So I'm the shark. And flowing waters, I'm the Ganges. So what can be? See, what is Ganges? I think you all know, no? From Garbhodaksai ocean, actually, there, there's a hole pierced, Then through, there are those layers, earth, water, fire, air, ether. And then we'll be going to Goloka Vrindavana chart shortly. I'll tell you that. Then you have the outermost, that's the Mahatattva. And the Mahatattva, there's the hole happening there. And from the hole, actually, the Garbhodaka ocean, water comes out. And that flows out as Ganga. So it's a spiritual water. So and what is spiritual and the best is Krishna. That is actually Krishna. Sarganam adir antascha madhyam chaivaham arjuna adhyatma vidyanam pada pravadatam aham. Of all creations, it is Sarganam. Sarganam is creations. Okay. I'm the beginning. I'm actually Adir. Adir is beginning. And the end and also the middle. Madhyam also is actually Anta also. Everywhere it's Krishna only. Okay. Now, actually, when you are tasting certain dishes, you have to find the more stuff in the center, nothing much in the beginning and the end. They're not that very tasty. So when you go to center, it's so tasty and you relish it. But this is not like that. Everywhere it is Krishna. Krishna and nothing but Krishna. So he says, I'm everywhere. Of Arjuna. If you taste sugar cane from any and it is sweet only. That's how Krishna is. It's not focused in one particular point, Or you taste a jaggery, ball of jaggery. They are equally, it's sweet in all places. Of all sciences, I'm the spiritual science of the self. That is the spirit soul. I'm that spirit soul. Okay, because he's a super soul in all the hearts. And among logicians, I'm the conclusive truth. Logicians are people who argue. They argue. Now, in argument, what can really sustain ultimately? It is the truth only. So, though sometimes, apparently the untruth actually seems to be reigning, but still ultimately, Satyameva Jayate. Ultimately, truth only triumphs. Okay? That's what Krishna says here. Aksharanam akarosmi dvandva samaksikashya aham evakshaya kalo dhataham vishwado mukha. Of letters, I am letter A. Okay, A is me. And among compound words, like Ramakrishna. Okay, they are compound words, two dual words. And Ramakrishna. I am the dual compound. I am also inexhaustible time. Time is eternal. I am time, which never gets exhausted. It was there in the beginning. It is there now. It is going to continue later. Even when annihilation happens, time will not go. Time will definitely be there only. It will be continuing. It won't actually get annihilated. And of creators, I am the Brahma. See, Brahma was created by Garbhodakasai Vishnu. From the navel of Garbhodakasai Vishnu, there was a stem coming out. No? At the tip of the stem, there was a lotus flower. And in that lotus flower, Brahma actually manifested. So obviously, he's actually the creator. He's that Brahma. See, though we say Brahma is the creator of everything, Brahma is the secondary creator. Now, behind this creator is the main creator, and that is our Prapitamaha. See, Brahma is actually, is only Pitamaha, but this is actually Prapitamaha, father of the grandfather. Okay. So here, Mrityu Sarva Haraschaham Udbhavascha Bhavishyatam Kirti Shrir Vakcha Narinam Smritir Medha Dhriti Kshama. Here, it is I'm all devouring death. See, death is Krishna, giving birth is Krishna. And all the beautiful things in a women, like, fame, fortune, or beauty, they're all actually, they're Krishna. The previous one, skipped one. No. In such places, you need to, I have to go back to the original because, you can't see these words. That's the problem. Yeah. This big chart is there, but I think after what we have done now, this becomes redundant. We don't have to really go to that. We just can pass on to the, we went ahead. Cheats and the gambling, yeah. So, devouring death. And in the female feminine qualities, what are the feminine qualities? Fame, fortune, fine, speech, beautiful speech, beauty, and all that in the woman is actually Krishna. All the features in the woman is actually Krishna. In Brahat Sama Tatha, this we have done actually. Brahat Sama Tatha Samnam Gayatri Chandasam Aham Masana Margashirsho Aham. See, actually in the months is November, December. Okay, that's a time when a lot of grain is collected. People are happy. So it's actually where there's happiness, there is Krishna. And Gayatri Chandasam Aham is the Gayatri mantra. Gayatri mantra, the initiator is Brahma. Okay, now all cannot recite Gayatri mantra. One has to be eligible to recite the Gayatri mantra. But once you do it with all devotion, you are sure to reach, go back to Godhead. Now, Brahat Sama Tatha Samnam. We talked about this Brahat Sama. Brahat Sama is the music in Samaveda, and that is Krishna. So, Rutuna Kusumakaraha. Of the hymns in the Samaveda, I am the Brahat Sama. Of the poetry, I am the Gayatri. Of months, I am Margashira, that is November, December. And of seasons, I am the flower-bearing spring. Rutunam, actually. It is Kusumakaraha. It is spring. That is a time when lots of very auspicious things happen. Lots of celebrations of Krishna happen. All the flowers are blooming. The trees are actually blooming with flowers. And there's and all the birds are chirping and they're singing. They're so happy with the rains and all the foliage and the flowers and all that. So that is the best part of all the seasons. That is Krishna. Okay? So all that is best is Krishna. Dyutam Chalayatam Asmi Tejasvinam Aham Jayo Asmi Pyavasayosmi Sattvam Sattvatam Sattvavatam Aham. I'm also not only good things, even in bad things, Krishna is there. See, among the cheats is gambling. See, the worst, the cheating, the game of cheating is actually gambling. So he's actually he's not the gambler. He's actually, I think we are come ahead. Yeah, I'm also the gambling of cheats, and of the splendid, I'm the splendor. Who are very splendid, that very glorious. I'm the glory of those glorious people. And I'm victory. I'm actually Jaya. I'm Jaya. I'm adventure. All the adventure, I'm there. I'm the strength of the strong. See, who can be stronger than Krishna? Actually, he lifted the Govardhana Giri. Then he actually killed the Kalinga Sarpa. Okay. So many things Krishna has done. And as a child, he has killed so many demons. He just with his kick, he has actually seen that they fell off at a distance. There's such tremendous energy he has. He's very strong. He's the strength of the strong people. Vrishninam. Vrishni is a clan, dynasty. Okay. Vrishninam Vasudevosmi. Pandavanam Dhananjayaha. Muninam Apyaham Vyasaha. Kavinam Ushana Kavihi. Of the descendants of Vrishni, I am Vasudeva. It is the son of Vasudeva. And even Balarama is called Vasudeva only because he's also son of Vasudeva. And the Pandavas, I am Arjuna. Because Arjuna is the best of the Pandavas. He's actually the best of all the Pandavas. Of the sages, I am Vyasa. Vyasa is nothing, one can be greater than Vyasa, because Vyasa is actually incarnation of Krishna only. He wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam, he wrote all the Vedanta Sutra, Vedanta Purana, Brahma Sutras, what he has written. So actually among all those great thinkers, I am Vyasadeva. And actually among the among the scholars, and among the great thinkers, I am Ushana. Ushana is actually our Shukracharya. Shukracharya, though he was the teacher of the demons, was very intelligent. So he's comparing. So though he is a demon, he says since he was very intelligent, the best of all the demons, he compares him. He says Ushana represents Krishna. Among all means of suppressing lawlessness, Dando Damayatam Asmi, Nitir Asmi Jigitsatam, Maunam Chaivasmi, this is very nice. Maunam Chaivasmi Guhyanam, Jnanam Jnana Vatam Aham. Among all means of suppressing lawlessness and punishment. Wherever there is disorder, wherever there is lawlessness, what is the only answer for that? Punishment only. That punishment is Krishna. And of those who seek victory and morality. See, the victorious have the victorious are the ones who are actually enjoying victory. Now, what is very important in victory? You should not win something by foul or fair means. You have to win through morality. So morality is very important. So in victory and morality, you should win anything with actually morals. Of secret things, I am silence. So silence is very important because in silence, we achieve a lot. When we can see on the days we keep Mauna Vrata and all that, we definitely feel better. Of secret, I am silence, and of the wise, I am the wisdom. Of the wise people, I am actually their wisdom. Now, Yachapi Sarva Bhutanam Bijam Tad Aham Arjuna Natad Asti Vina Yatsyan Maya Bhutam Characharam. Further, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. Whatever is living today, whatever is there today on the earth, in the universe, I am actually, see, we know that, how, Krishna, our Karnodak Sai Vishnu, just he glances over the whole material world and everything is, impregnated with living entities. So he's the seed of all living entities. There is no being moving or there is no being moving or non-moving that can exist without me. So everything owes its existence to Krishna. Nanto asti mama divyanam vibhutinam param tapa esha tuddesha sata prokto vibhute pistaro maya, O mighty conqueror of enemies. This is only but actually a fragment of what I'm telling you. There is much, much more about me. That's what Krishna tells you. It's a big list. I think we don't have to, you can, is this chart with you? See Vishnu, Aditya, sunlight, Marichi, Maruts. We have discussed all this actually. Now Chitraratha, singers of the demigods. The demigods sing, is it not? In Samaveda. Now of those, the famous one was Chitraratha. I think highlight the things I have not told you. Only other things I'll just move on. So Indra, all this has been told you. The Kuvera, Yakshas and Rakshasas. Then, am I audible? Please tell me.
Yes, Mataji. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna, yes.
Among Bhrigu, he's a sages. He's a sage. Sages is Bhrigu actually. Among vibrations is Omkara. Okay. Then chanting of the holy names is Mahamantra. Chanting of the holy name. Immovable things is Himalaya. And then actually there are so many trees. Trees is Ashwatha. Ashwatha is actually, I have made important notes on this. I'll give you sharing those points with you. So Ashwatha, it is very, Ashwatha Vriksha is the most sacred of all the trees. Now Narada is the greatest of all the demigods. And Kapila is of course of the Siddhas. Then the horse word, I know what I have talked about. We'll go to the next one. Yeah. Yeah. Now this first point I have discussed with you. The leader of the Yakshas and Rakshasas is Kuvera. Okay. Now who is Kuvera? The master treasurer of the demigods. He's a treasurer of the demigods. And he's a representation of the Supreme Lord. Because he's again perfect in what his profile. Then Meru is a mountain famed for its rich natural resources. Why is Meru important? Because it has a lot of rich natural resources. Indra is a chief demigod of heavenly planets and is known as the king of heavens. The planet on which he reigns is called Indraloka. This point I have told you, please just revise it with the shloka I have mentioned earlier. Brahaspati is Indra's priest. And since Indra is the chief of all kings, Brahaspati is the chief of all the priests. Himalayas are the greatest mountains in the world. We know that. Mount Meru is sometimes movable. That is why Himalaya is actually greater than Meru. The banyan tree Ashwatha is one of the highest and most beautiful, graceful, tall trees, divine trees. And people in India often worship it as one of their daily morning rituals. Okay, so Ashwatha is supposed to be a very, very sacred tree. Among the demigods, Narada is the greatest devotee in the universe because he keeps on going he flies in the air and he doesn't have to walk on land. He has to reach a place. He can reach within no time. And he's the greatest. Always he's chanting the glory of the Lord everywhere. And only actually spreading the message of Krishna consciousness. And it's believed that, our Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, is also an incarnation of Narada. Thus, he is the representation of Krishna as a devotee. The Gandharva planet is filled with entities who sing beautifully. And among them, the best singer is Chitra Ratha. The name of the demigod who sings very well is Chitra Ratha. So he is the best of all the demigods who sing. Okay? Amongst the perfect living entities. The Kapila, the son of Devahuti, is actually the best of all the philosophers. His philosophy is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay? There's one more Kapila who is actually in emulation, a deceptive form of Kapila, but he's not to be taken as Kapil Deva. Okay? But a thunderbolt, a mighty weapon, represents Krishna's power. This mentioned. What you have mentioned, I'll skip a little faster. This has been told to you. It's a mighty weapon of Krishna. In Krishna Loka, even Surbi has been, I mentioned about Surbi cow. Among the cows is Surbi. Why is Surbi so very important? Because she can be milked at any time. There is no particular time we have to choose for milking the Surbi cow. No, the other cows don't do that. Okay, and gives milk as much as you want. There's no stoppage at all. These are Surbi, and Lord is always herding such Surbi cows in Goloka Vrindavana. Now, Kandarpa, I have told you about Kandarpa. Diti and Aditi also I told you. They are the two sisters. And Diti gave rise to the Daityas and Aditi to the devotees. Okay. So all the Daityas are atheistic, and the devotees are the Aditi's children are all devotees. But Aditi's children are all atheistic. They don't believe in God. They are Daityas. Okay. Prahlada, born in the family of Daityas, as he was a great devotee of Krishna from his childhood, is considered to be representative of Krishna. Okay. As soon as a man is born, he dies at every moment. See, every moment the baby is born, you're so happy that the baby is born. But remember one thing, all of us too, the day we were born, our expiry date is written. Every medicine has the expiry date. Only some Ayurvedic medicines, they say they don't have any expiry date. They become better as they actually are kept longer. But that is a really, surprising thing. And that is the quality of the materials used in it. But all of us have a deadline. Okay. So every moment our cells are dying and they're getting reborn. So you're dying every moment. But the last stroke, the last collapse, what happens when the heart collapses, that is death. And that death is Krishna. Okay. And I also told you that birth is also Krishna. Okay. The first from the womb, when the baby takes birth, it's also Krishna. Of the 6 basic stages, the first and the last are Krishna. The Gayatri Mantra, I told you, it's actually Krishna again. It's chanted by the qualified Brahmanas, and only those who chant it very sincerely, they actually can get God realization. So all of them are not actually qualified enough to chant that, and it is this sound, Gayatri Mantra, is a sound incarnation of Brahman. Like Omkara is incarnation of Lord Krishna. This Gayatri Mantra is about Brahma. The why November, December very important. I told you grains are collected. The spring, it's not too hot, not too cold. Flowers are blooming in the trees, and then many ceremonies are conducted. A lot of these women, the Shravan Masa and all so many things, pujas and all that are done in actually the spring season. Now Krishna's pastimes are celebrated in spring season as most joyful of all seasons. It represents even the cuckoo. Actually, she sings in the spring so nicely. It represents the Supreme Lord Krishna. Amongst Pandu, it is of course Arjuna. And then Munis, Vyasa Muni is the best, is Krishna himself. And in the age of Kali, he has given us a lot of Vedic literature. And the Kavis are who actually they're great thinkers. They give us a lot of information of subject matter. Of them, Ushana is Shukracharya, was the spiritual master of the demons. He was extremely intelligent. Though he was a demon, very intelligent and far-seeing politician. So Shukracharya is actually a representative of Krishna. The punishing of miscreants is Krishna. Victorious element of victory is morality, that is Krishna. Among hearing, thinking, meditating, silence is most important. Why? Because it helps to progress very quickly. We can do things very silently better. Okay? The knowledge of the wise, who can discriminate between matter and spirit soul, between God's superior and inferior natures. Okay? They are also Krishna. That is who can do, those who can identify or discriminate between the self and matter. They are also obviously Krishna. And this also we have, all this has been done to you in the shlokas. So I don't think we have to go to it. See, on the only birds, it is Garuda, and then all this has been told to you. So I think we no need to repeat all this. Yeah. And this also has been told to you. Death is Krishna, and then fame, fortune, speech, memory, intelligence, faithfulness, and patience. Women have this, all these features. Yeah? And all these features in women is Krishna. Okay. And Brahat Sama is this him. This is again Krishna. So these things have been, yeah, we can just pass on. Yeah. And this is again repetition of the same thing. We don't have to go to that. Yeah. Now 39, we are almost coming to the end of the whole chapter. Yeah. Padamuru Arjuna, I'm the generating city, and this has been done to you. He's a seed of all the living entities in the universe. Okay. Yeah. There is no end to my divine manifestations. They're actually limitless. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. There is much, much, much more. Okay. Lord has actually much more than this. This is Karnodaka Sai Vishnu here actually. And this is Lord, this is Goloka Vrindavana. He's actually in Goloka. And this is a very interesting, very nice pastime. Does anyone know about this story? Kindly lift your hand if you know. This is actually, what leaf is this? Is it a beetle leaf? Please unmute yourselves. Please tell me. Unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna devotees.
Hare Krishna Mataji, is it a people leaf?
Exactly. It's a people leaf only. Actually, banyan leaf. Now, this offers Krishna. What is he doing?
He's sucking. So,
Are you awake? Are you awake? This is actually he's putting his toe into the mouth. Okay. Now, and there's again a beautiful explanation for this. There are many explanations actually. All children do it actually. And that's one phase, you know, where they say that stomach is absolutely perfect. I mean, say that means there's no problem in the stomach, and they're able to lift so much. And even we too, you know, as we grow older too, have to maintain flexibility in the body with the moments possible. But here it is like this. See, all the devotees, they worship the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay. Now, it is so sweet. It's called sweet lotus feet. So Krishna wanted to test himself, I believe. All actually worship my lotus feet. So why not I see how it tastes? So he's putting the toe in the mouth. Okay. And this pastime, can anyone tell me what this pastime could be? What is happening here? What is happening here? Does it look very orderly? It is not orderly. It is chaotic. It is chaotic. Is it not? It is chaotic. Okay. It looks like something pralaya. Is it not? Actually, Markandeya Muni wanted Krishna, who was in a kutir in his hutmet actually. He asked Krishna to show him his Maya, Yoga Maya. Okay. And Krishna started laughing. You know, everything is Maya only. Yoga Maya. I mean, all the Krishnas, it's all mystic powers of Krishna only. And suddenly he creates this pralaya. Everything becomes berserk. Everything, all things, you know, upside down, upside. And even Markandeya Muni is also dislodged from his kutir and is terribly disturbed. But in all this disturbance, you see the ocean here. You see here on this peacefully on a people. I mean, on this leaf, the baby Krishna is happily sleeping with its foot with the toe in the mouth. Okay. and it's laughing, smiling, not tensed at all. Then Markandeya Muni knows that it is definitely Krishna's mystic power only. Then he tells him, he tries to actually go towards Krishna. Then Krishna goes into the mouth of Krishna. And then when it comes out of the mouth of Krishna, he's everything would have become calm. And he goes back to his kutir and everything is very calm again. So he can create the pralaya. He can mitigate the pralaya. That's how he shows Markandeya his splendor, his mystic power. So yadyad vibhutimat sattvam Srimad Urjitam eva va tat eva va gachatvam mama tejomsha sambhavam. Know that all beautiful, glorious and mighty creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Only a spark is enough. His splendor is absolutely limitless, but then a spark of it is enough for all actually things to shine, and look what they are. Okay, and last one. Athava bhunetena kim jnatena tavarjuna istabhyaham idam kritsam ekamshena sito jagat. It's a beautiful shloka again. But what need is there, Arjuna? Why should I show you all this? For all this detailed knowledge, ekamshena sito jagat. Just a fragment of his power is enough for all this, for the whole world to be realized. With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. And we can see here, this is Lord Krishna. There are so many birds in the tree. There's a tree here. And then you see so many animals here. And all sort of, there's a yogi here, the lion, tiger, snakes, whatnot. Everyone is here. In all of them, we see the super soul. There's a horse here. Everywhere we find the super soul, He's all pervading. He's not only here, he's also there in the non-living things. The grass is living, but the rocks there at the behind, which have not been very much actually shown as highlighted, but even there, actually Krishna is there. So he says, there's no need for me to describe all this to you at all. So Krishna supports and he pervades the entire universe with a mere fragment of himself. The conclusion of this chapter is, from Krishna's potent energy, even the sun gets its power. And by Krishna's partial expansion, the whole world is maintained. Therefore, Lord Krishna is worshipable. Okay? Now, chapter 10 explains how to concentrate mind in Krishna consciousness in full devotional service. Okay? Then, by hearing about Krishna, his opulences, and expansions of Krishna's energies, we get more devotion towards Krishna. Thus, chapter 10 explains how to attain the highest devotional perfection of association with the Supreme Lord. Okay, only then, when you know a person, when you know about a person, you get more attachment to the person, and you get even respect for the person. See, you would go to a big office, and when you go there, you see the CEO passing by you, but you don't know he's the CEO. You have no respect for him. But later, when he's introduced to you, you go to his room, you see him there, and he's introduced to you as the CEO. Suddenly, all the respect flows for him. And later there's some profile of him and elaborated to you, you get more respect for him. The same way, about anyone for that matter, you have to know a person, know a thing, or know in detail to have the devotion or the regard. Now, devotional service and worship of Krishna are explained in Chaturshloki 8 to 11. Please kindly buy out all the shlokas. The reason why I pluck out all the shlokas today and wanted to read that is, I want you to do the same thing. And then, as Mataji also keeps on telling, to write the shloka, then you have to bahad the shloka, write the meaning, and then you'll be well versed in chanting them without any difficulty. So 10.1 to 7, Krishna's position as the origin of everything. 8 to 11, Chaturshloka. 12 to 48, Arjuna's acceptance and his request. Okay, with that our chapter gets over. And kindly, if there are questions, please. Can I stop the sharing? May I stop the sharing?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
Mataji.
can ask me
Hare Krishna.
questions. Okay, you can ask me questions.
Hare Krishna devotees, the attendance form has been given. Please mark your attendance. One more time, I am just posting. And for any queries, please start with your question and answers.
Yeah.
Mataji, we can stop the recording.
I think doing question and answers recording,
Okay,
maybe,
okay, no
yeah,
issues.
let it be
Ah,
there,
yes,
yeah, let it be there, yeah. Hare Krishna devotees, are you there?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
See, you're not talking at all. If you don't respond, how will I know you are there?
No, Mataji, we are there. The said Smita Mataji here.
Yeah, I could make out, yes, yeah.
How are you, Mataji?
I'm better.
Long
Hopefully-
time back.
Yeah, very long time. I told you in the beginning, eagerness was there on both the sides. I also wanted to come back to you, but unfortunately some things happened and I couldn't come. But hopefully now, I think it will be without any breaks. Let's pray Almighty.
No. I always prayed for you that when your class will come, and I was so happy to see you today.
I'm also happy to see all of you. And really, I hear all of you, see all of you. Sometimes things go beyond our, we are not able to control certain things.
Right.
It happens. Yeah. I'm happy you have, but you had wonderful teachers. I'm very happy. All
Thank you so
excellent.
much, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you so much.
No, I should thank you all because you are there. I'm there. Otherwise, where am I there? I'm not there at all. But I'm happy that very nice substitutes very voluntarily agreed to help me with my situation, and I got the help I needed, and you also got enlightened. Only thing is, in such a teaching, you get exposed to different teachings. That's a good thing only, You should relish all foods. You shouldn't eat only rice or chapati. You should eat all varieties of things. That will be very good for your health. Any
Right.
questions, all of you? Please, any questions? Yeah, Samaveda is related to music. Yeah. Did you understand? It was a very fast today. After a long time, I'm taking the class too.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah,
Can
tell
we
me.
make can we make Naga Kumari Mataji like the co-host?
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Is she, have I not made her the co-host?
No, Mataji, it's okay.
Arre
It's
re,
perfectly
my
okay.
goodness.
No issues, Mataji.
So sorry.
No, Mataji. Okay, it's okay.
I can't see her.
Mataji, can you please raise your hand?
Mataji, raise your hand. In fact, she wished me first in the beginning. How did I miss
Yes.
making her the co-host?
No, Mataji. When you made me the host,
She's here, yeah.
Somehow it got missed. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize that.
It's Yogananda Prabhuji
Yeah.
has been made the co-host. It's Naga Kumari Mataji.
I Nagakumari I made, no?
It's okay, Mataji.
Where is
It's okay,
Mataji? You
We
raise
can
your
continue
hand.
the session.
Yogananda has been please. I think he has to help us now out.
It's okay, Mataji. Well,
Maybe
no issues.
next time I'll.
Yes, Mataji. No issues. Can you please, devotees, have your queries?
Thank you, Chalpa Mataji. Yeah. I was also praying, Lord, that I should get back and all Krishna's grace, I think, is ours. I'm happy I could sit so long. Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Sudha Mataji.
I'm so happy to see you back and we missed you. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, so far so good, Sudha Mataji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask you a question in today's
Please.
chapter. So we have these 4 regulative principles in which one of them says that no gambling, right? So
Yeah.
then how come Krishna says that he is there in gambling? So this is a little confusing.
No, actually, not in that sense, Mataji. See, best of everything. See, he was actually, even Krishna, but all what he does is for, for the welfare of the whole world. What happens in Kurukshetra, Mahayuddha, you know that, no? He suddenly creates clouds and makes sunset, and then suddenly the sun rises again. Okay, now he wants to kill, I think the Karna killing time, he want to somehow see that is killed. So then he does that. So, but whatever he does for the sake of the world, for the benefit of all of us. But what the gambling that people play here, it's for their own benefit. So whatever Krishna does is for all his mischiefs and all his, he was also very prankful, you know. Yeah, lots of pranks he has done. But then, see, when I said the best of everything, that best is Krishna. But through that, he teaches that one shouldn't gamble.
Yeah.
So becoming a gambler himself, if he enlightens those gamblers and enlightens them with Krishna consciousness, okay, then he's bringing them out of it. See, many a times, and we have to become that person, you know, and then we become a part of it, and then remove them out of the vice of the addiction.
Yes.
Thank you, Mataji.
Another question is this Ashwatha tree.
Yeah.
It says it is in one place it says fig tree, in another place it says banyan tree. So are they the same? Is it a fig tree?
People tree. Banyan
But
people.
It said fig, F-I-G, fig tree in one place.
A fig, yes. Fig actually, fig is.
Because I think it says the translation, it said fig tree, I think, that particular, that was.
Banyan tree, it also comes in the Purushottam Yoga, 5th one, banyan tree, but it's mentioned as. I'll get back to you, Mataji, because it maybe yes, tell me. Yeah.
It's written holy fig.
It's a holy tree, yes. Definitely holy tree.
Holy
No.
fig.
People tree is a banyan tree, I feel so. Check Meenakshi, please check Meenakshi.
No, Mataji, people tree is little different. It's Bargat. I think banyan tree is said as Bargat ka ped.
Bargat.
Bargat ka ped.
Bargat. It's in
Bargat
Hindi,
ka
I
ped.
think, no? Hindi.
Yes, Mataji. People
Is
is
it-
little different. The leaves are little different, Mataji.
Leaves only are identifying features, actually. That the pointed leaves, you know.
That you showed na that
That is
opulence,
people.
pastime of Krishna that
Yeah, Markandeya.
yeah, he was in that people tree, leaves only.
Yeah.
It was a leaf of people.
No, I think Mataji, give me a little time. Maybe next I'll get back to you. But banyan, people, and then
Fig.
Ashwath Vriksha. You'll see exactly what those nomenclatures, I mean, or how they actually correlate, or they're overlapping, or they mean the same. The synonyms. We'll just, people tree is a very sacred tree. Ashwatha is also, I think Ashwatha is people tree only.
Okay.
Can't be banyan.
One of the slides only, today's class only, I saw in one slide, it said fig tree. The parenthesis, it had said fig. So I was a little confused. Yeah. It's just trivial, it's a trivial issue. No
No,
problem.
we shall find. It's not trivial, Mataji. It's very important. I'm not very enlightened with that particular difference exactly. I'll get back to you, Mataji. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, yeah.
It's written here. It is commonly known as sacred fig. It is also known as people tree. This plant has religious significance in India. Sanskrit name is people and Aswatha.
But Ashwatha people are the same. People in
English
Arush
name is
are the same.
fig. Sacred fig. English
Sacred
name is
fig.
sacred
Are you saying fig?
Yeah.
F-I-G?
FIG. It's written Mataji.
Okay.
Meenakshi,
I'll pass it on to
it is
you,
written
Mataji.
fig tree there also.
Yes. Fig.
Okay.
Only fig written.
Fig tree. Okay, yeah, fig tree. But then banyan tree is different.
Yes, Mataji.
Banyan is different. But see what Krishna is sleeping there is banyan, I think. No, not people. Also banyan. In Markandeya pastime should be
Yeah.
banyan. Because
That is banyan. That one is banyan.
yeah,
Correct.
the shape of the leaf is not like the people. It's actually not pointed.
Yeah.
Not pointed. But of course, in many of the shops, we see them articles made and they show Krishna on the people leaf only. I've seen many times that is their choice. But here it is a banyan tree. Let's find out. Let's clarify and
It's,
then.
Hare Krishna. It's written Mataji. The people is also known as the sacred fig, and the people botanical name is Ficus
Ficus. Religiosa. Yeah. Ficus religiosa. Yeah.
The familiar and popular banyan Ficus bengalensis is a relative of the people, as are Gular Dumar Ficus racemosa.
Racemosa,
It's a
yeah.
relative only. They both are, I think.
The banyan is also a relative of ficus tree. Yeah.
Something sister tree or
Ah.
like that only.
But only
Oh.
leaves, shape of leaves is little different.
Little different, yes.
Yeah. Even that by next class, we'll try to explore the shapes of the two leaves. It's very interesting, It's a part of botany actually. So, but generally we see people see only around our houses. In the temples also, they're worshipped. In fact, they should not be growing in the house. I don't know how true it is or how it's a myth or what, I had a banyan tree, a people tree in one of my pots. I think these birds bring the seed, had brought the seed and put it there. We were told by a priest, you shift it to some temple, don't keep it in the house. Then we shifted it. And one more there in the front of my house also was there. You have to uproot it actually. The roots go very deep. You have to do it early, otherwise it's difficult to root them out also, root them, uproot them. Yeah, I think the doubt remains as far as the shape of the leaf is concerned, no? Shape of the banyan and the people are, but they are not the exact, the shape is not the same. Slight differences there. Yeah, we can see it on the Google and
Manoj, Mataji, just one more question. I just want a clarification for this Ekadashi days and all that. If I want to observe Nirjala, can I observe Nirjala on all Ekadashi days, or Nirjala has to be done only during the Nirjala Ekadashi?
You can do every time, no problem. You can
no
do,
problem. Right?
If you can.
Yeah. Actually, a few times that I've tried to do Nirjala, I found, just my experience is that it's easier to do the Nirjala, and it is also easier to add some water to that, can do a water type fast. But as soon as I start eating some fruits or any, then the mind start asking for more, okay, what else I can eat?
Very true. I agree with you. Yeah. I agree with you. Yes. Yeah. You should not eat anything that day, even fruits, bit of it, if you say one plant banana, it goes to 2 bananas, You should not eat, and even that you have to control. So just even some people take tirtha. We do puja in the morning, we do Krishna's, we do Abhisheka. And the tirtha is there, the sacred water, holy water, the padodaka. That some people drink a little bit of it, and then just a sip of it, not even much. Shouldn't go inside the stomach. You just wet your lips. That's all. Yeah. Then even tulsi tirtha we take in the morning, just wet your lips with that, but don't drink it. If you drink it, you want more water. You'll feel like getting more water. Don't drink any water. I think that's better. You can do it. I agree with you. Yes. If you start eating, you feel like eating everything actually.
Yes.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
Another thing I had observed is like in when I recently only I started observing Ekadashi, like about 5 to 6 I have started Ekadashis I have observed so far. So like progressively I'm trying to increase my, like sacrificial part of it. So so one thing I also noticed was that so I'm making it a point that I'm increasing the rounds of chanting on Ekadashi days. Other days I'm having like 4 rounds, but Ekadashi day I'm trying to do 16 rounds. So one of my experience, like one of my earlier classes, I think you had advised me to, step by step increase the rounds, and you were telling me like by end of this advanced class, I would have reached 16. So that was one of my inspiration to build up on the rounds. So I'm working on that. So one of the thing I noticed was that when I'm chanting for a long time, the mouth starts getting dry sometimes. So on the day I did the Ekadashi, the Nirjala Ekadashi, that day my mouth did not become dry. I was like surprised. On all other days when I'm doing more rounds, the mouth becomes dry and I want to take some water. But the day I did the Nirjala Ekadashi, my experience was a little higher.
Very good.
Connection, and also my mouth did not feel dry, and I'm like checking my mouth, it is still wet, and I still have the energy. Like very
devotion,
nice.
Mataji, devotion. You're devoted. The more you focus and do with all devotion, all these things happen. Really, you can't explain that in biological terms, or and it's so difficult to explain everything scientifically. But then it happens, yes. And the more you're involved in it, you get that feeling. It's a good feeling. Good, Mataji. You're doing 16 rounds. Very good.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the encouragement.
No, no, Mataji. We are very happy you're doing it, Mataji. Keep it up, Mataji.
Not all days, only 16 I'm able to do only on those special days, appearance days and
No problem. So slowly it will become a habit, a nature of yours, a second nature. You can't live without chanting. It becomes so much,
Yeah.
However late it is in the night, you feel like definitely completing your rounds and then
I
going to
feel
bed.
that. I also like my mind is like, okay, I don't want to do any other work. I'd rather chant than do some work, so
Yeah.
I'm craving for chanting time.
Yes. Yeah. You feel like it's a magnet. It pulls you to the place where you sit and chant. And as much as possible, you can maintain a place to chant, or you can, of course, walk about and chant. All that can be done. If you're not where you can sleep and chant. See, God doesn't say you have to do it in a particular posture or a particular time and all that, But best is Brahmi Mutta early morning. Very good. After 2 o'clock, anytime you can start doing chanting in the midnight. But then sometimes I get up at 2 o'clock. I don't sleep again at all. These are chants. And then, of course, you have to listen to your body also. If you feel like sleeping, you definitely sleep. Don't deprive yourself of sleep too, because that will affect your metabolism, That's also very important. See, this body also is given by God, no? It's a God's temple. And He's the deity in our heart as a Lord. So you have to, unless you keep your body nice, cared for, the deity will not be safe. So you have to be very careful, don't punish your body beyond your limits. As there are some people who cannot do it, they start fainting and then they do, as they say, they do no work at all because they're fasting, nirjal or whatever. Then that is also not accepted by the Lord. He says you have to be doing devotional service. You have to keep your puja room clean, your kitchen clean, and all the worships you have to be doing to the Lord, Abhisheka, whatever it is you are doing. What you're doing doesn't matter, When chanting is a worship only. I don't mean to say this, that I don't deny in anything like this be done. But then all that should be done. And in fact, in many houses, the lady of the house, she fasts and cooks for others. And that is very much punya, It's very, very auspicious. If you cook for others and you don't eat that, that's a sacrifice actually. That's very, very, because I'm not eating, if I don't cook for others, that's wrong. It's very wrong. You have to entertain your guests that come home. All that has to be done. If they're not following Ekadashi, you have to entertain them, no? All that has to be done. So you can't shirk from any responsibility. Some people just go and sleep off when they do fasting. That's not accepted by the Lord. That's not nice, If you can do it, very good, Mataji.
Thank you,
People at home also understand this. When you're doing fasting, they understand this. They don't burden us with any more course, but we should do it, though they don't. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I think there are no more questions.
No questions?
Even
Okay.
participants are also discussing. There is one, I think there is something from Mahalakshmi Mataji.
Yeah, please.
Session, Mataji. Thank you. Take care. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Mahalakshmi Mataji. Yeah, let us pray for each other. It's very able to meet each other till the end. I'm also praying, Lord. I cannot promise much more than this at all. No one can promise that way. I hopefully, I want to be a part of this whole congregation till the end, and I think I'll be okay. So we shall meet. Definitely, we shall meet. But only thing is, I wanted to know. I've talked after a long time. Very frankly speak, I'll just stop the recording now. Yeah. Stop recording here. Yeah.